This is Abe Friedtanzer from Award Buzz. Very excited to be speaking with Tom Glynn-Carney about House of the Dragon. How are you, Tom?
Very well, mate. How are you?
Good. What is your historical relationship with Game of Thrones?
Oh my God. So it was bare. It was thin on the ground before I was cast in the House of the Dragon. Um, I hadn't seen Game of Thrones at all. Hadn't read any of the books. Was a very separate entity to that whole world. And then I was like, well, I'm diving into the world. I better pay due diligence and dived in head first and absolutely devoured it in about 3 weeks, the whole 8 seasons. So yeah, I can say now proudly that I am a fan.
Did it surprise you just having obviously, I'm sure, heard about it, but not knowing what it was?
I kind of knew what it was in that um, a lot of my mates watched it and were sort of involved and engrossed in that world. So I knew it was a success. I knew how much of a huge machine it was. But yeah, I just hadn't had any sort of personal involvement with it whatsoever. And so yeah, when I popped my cherry, if you like, I absolutely loved it.
The show has some really big super fans. So do you think that you could go toe to toe with them on, bloodlines and character
No,
relationships and dynasties?
oh no, 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 no chance in France.
Well, this franchise has not historically been great for those who have sat on a throne. Do you fear for your life and your time on this show to be cut short, or you feel like you're around for a significant amount of time and you'll have some advance notice of a brutal demise coming sometime your way?
Well, Abe, here's the thing. I've read the book, so that probably answers your question if you have also read the book. Um, say no more.
That's fair. What do you like about Aegon?
What do I like? What?
About Aegon? About the character?
Oh, about Aegon. I thought you said what you do like better,
Am I,
Tom. I was
I'm
like,
saying my accent is different than yours. I want to make sure, I'm like, I'm saying these names with Viserys, like, am I saying them right? Can these
no,
people
no, you got it.
understand
You
me?
smashed it. Smashed it. What do I like about him? I like a lot of things about him. I have to because a lot of people dislike a lot of things about him. So there's got to be someone who likes him. Um, I like his impulsiveness, however you want to say that. Um, I like how volatile he is, and I'm learning to love his vulnerability as well, and his curiosity, and um, I think what we start to see in Aegon as we go through the story is this quest for an understanding of who he is and why he is the way he is, and answering a lot of questions for himself that might later those answers lend themselves to him kind of leveling up as a human being and taking responsibility and uh yeah, casting light on those areas that were otherwise very shadowed and hidden in dusty corners, within himself. So it's a big journey of self-discovery. I know that sounds quite vague, but genuinely that's how his arc seems to be coming together as the tapestry keeps it being woven by these wonderful writers on our show. Um, so yeah, I like those things. I like how I think he's brave as well. Um, I think he's stupid, but I think he's brave.
And how does the clothing and hairstyle and all that really make the character and make you feel like, it impacts your performance?
Well, especially now. I mean, I'm in a very different situation now as Aegon with the burns and the different wig and all that jazz. That in itself is a different character now. I feel like that's Aegon version 2, or however many versions we've counted up until now. This is the next version. Um, changes the way he, on a very physical level, changes the way he moves, changes the way he speaks, um, but also changes the way he thinks and feels and sees the world. And I feel there's a coldness to him now, where originally had this kind of puppy dog energy, quite sort of quick, high energy level. This version of him feels driven, colder, blinkers on, um, eyes on the prize here.
You have a lot of great co-stars in there. Actually, the two I think you spend the most time with, I would probably describe a similar way that at one point they might have been a little more bright-eyed, and now they're sort of much more just sort of set and driven. That's Ewan Mitchell and Olivia Cook. What can you share about getting to work with the two of them?
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to speak for Ewan, but I mean, I had never seen Eamon as bright-eyed in any way. Yeah, but I mean, working with these guys, the whole cast, Ewan and Liv are wonderful, but the entire cast are just it's a really special collection of people to be able to collaborate with because everybody's in it for the same reasons. They want to make a good show. They're completely invested in the work. Um, there is a perfect balance between sort of, work mode, but also humor and lightness. I think you really need levity on a show like this as well, that you can't get bogged down too much because it is so dark and the environments are so sort of quite literally smoggy and heavy. You need those sort of moments of humor and levity, like I said. But yeah, everyone's great and everyone's just so committed to the work and to the characters and to doing the best work we can.
Well, in an ensemble as big as this, because of geography and story and other things, there are obviously those you will never share scenes with. Is there anybody right now in the ensemble that you wish you had the chance, but it just would not make any sense?
Um, Emma Darcy, I'd love to do some scenes with them. Just to share the set with Emma would be a dream. We've always said that we want to do a play with each other as well. Because just when habit the space together, I think that'd be exciting. Matt Smith would be great to work with on a more personal level. Again, we've said that we want to do theatre. Another great thing about this cast is that everybody comes from, or most people come from a theatre background of some description, or have interest in theatre, and I think that's what, for my taste anyway, that's what makes exciting, unpredictable um, scenes is when it feels like you're on stage and when you feel like there's a live audience and it all could come crumbling down and falling apart around you. And yet, it's the electricity between the two actors in the space that can kind of keep that together. Um, God, yeah, there's so many, but let's just say Matt and Emma for time's sake.
What do you think would surprise audiences most about the way that this show is made?
Can you say the start of that question again? You cut out.
What do you think would surprise audiences most about, how it's actually put together?
Oh, God. How long it takes, probably, and how how much time and effort and the intricacies of got jumping through hoops and making sure everything is checked and then checked again and then checked a third time. Every decision that's made on this show is meticulous and goes through 15 different people and um, everyone at the top of the game. So yeah, I guess just the amount of attention to detail probably, and to be an actor on the receiving end of that and be able to just be thrown into a space that has been, so like I said, meticulously designed and thought about and considered. It's a gift because there's often very little imagination required for an actor because it's just all there and it looks so good and it feels so good and the costumes and hair and makeup and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, I guess attention to detail probably.
Would you say that it's substantially different from a lot of the TV work you've done in the past?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's a different ball game altogether. We're doing something so specific in terms of era, and it's fantasy, um, which gives us sort of creative license, but also restricts us in the same way because it's, it's a world created by George R. R. Martin, very specific the way he's written it. So there's a lot of those parameters to adhere to and to remain within. Uh, yeah, very different, I've never done anything fantasy before, so this is, a new chapter for me.
What do you like to watch on TV these days? What have you seen recently that's really stuck with you?
Oh God. I've just watched the John Galliano documentary that has just come out on Netflix, which I thought was amazing, harrowing. Um, yeah, I was really sort of taken aback by that. What else? I've just started the season 2 of The Last of Us, which I'm a huge fan of. I'm very excited to carry on watching that. And also cannot talk about TV at the moment without mentioning the new season of Love on the Spectrum, one of my all-time favorites. So heartwarming, beautifully done. Um, and yeah, I wish those guys every happiness because they're just wonderful human beings.
Well, in lieu of plentiful season three spoilers for House of the Dragon, do you have any other projects that are coming up that you can tell me about?
Not just now, not just now. I'll probably get in trouble if I start blabbing now, but yeah, there's some nice things in the pipeline that I'm looking forward to getting stuck in on, and yeah, people hearing about. But yeah, no, can't really speak about them at the moment, unfortunately. Sorry.
Fine. Do you want to do a few spoilers for season three instead? Would that be a smart play for your career?
Yeah, that'd be great. I won't get fired immediately at all.
Well, thank you, Tom. I really appreciate you diving into as much of this as you can, and looking forward to seeing what's next, or maybe not, given the likely predicament. But it's been a pleasure.
Who knows, Dave? Cheers, mate.